What's up, everybody? This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are in the playoffs, everybody. After starting the season 2-5, they have found a way to win 7 of the last 9 games to clinch a playoff berth. As we know, they did go ahead and defeat the Washington football team yesterday on Sunday. It was a nail biter. It was definitely a nail biter. All the way until the very end. However, the Eagles did go ahead and pitch a second half shutout to the Washington football team, and what a beautiful thing that was yesterday. Big Play Slay, welcome to the chat today, my man. How's it going? Happy Monday to you. The Eagles are in the playoffs. So happy to hear that, and so happy to see that we've finally come to this point where we can say the Philadelphia Eagles are going to the playoffs. We've heard it all. You know what I mean? We've heard it all. We've heard the boos and the hisses and the chance to bench Jalen Hurts and to fire Nick Sirianni and to get rid of Jonathan Gannon and all of the above all season long. But lo and behold, the Eagles stayed course. They continue to believe, and now they find themselves in a situation where in the first year of Nick Sirianni's head coaching career, he is going to be a playoff coach. So that is absolutely phenomenal. King says, bruh, we got 12 people in COVID list. Yeah, we do, and that's another thing that I'm gonna get into also. Obviously, I'm very well aware that we have 12 people that was listed on the COVID list today. Most of them are starters. Unfortunately, just Dallas Goedert, Fletcher Cox, Rodney McLeod, just to name a few of them. Avonte Maddox as well, just to name a few. But here's the thing: they are all vaccinated. And it is Monday, and I do believe that they're going to be okay to go in the case that they need to go on Sunday. But we will definitely I believe this, whether they're going to rest their starters or not, those guys will be ready to go when it comes time to play whoever we're going to play in the playoffs. And right now, obviously, as that stands, it looks like it's going to be the Buccaneers, but we'll see. Big Play Slay says, playoff bound, did not see this team in the playoffs. I seen this team at most 8-9. I predicted them at the 7-10 range, but this feels good, and it's valuable experience for the younger players. I completely agree. I remember us having these chats earlier in the season, and we were talking about a possibility of them being a 7 to 8 win team, 9 if they can pull a couple out here and there. But here's the thing, though, honestly, is I'm just as shocked as everybody else is, just as shocked about the emotional and mental fortitude of the team. They've done a phenomenal job. And here's the other thing too, guys, is if we didn't lose that Giants game, we would be talking about a 7-game winning streak that this team has gone on to make it to this point. However, there was that Giants loss in the middle of this entire series of wins that kind of took that away. AJ Styles says, Aaron Rodgers, Philadelphia Eagles. AJ Styles, have not heard from you in a long time, my man. Welcome back to the stream. It's good to see you. Good to hear you. Aaron Rodgers, Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know about that one. Here's the thing: as the season has gone on, and Aaron Rodgers obviously on pace for another MVP type season. I don't know if he's going to leave Green Bay. I mean, that's something that we can get into. But let's talk about this Philadelphia Eagles. Let's talk about this Philadelphia Eagles team. Some of the things that they've done since that midway mark of the season, where they started to turn things around. Obviously, Jonathan Gannon started listening to his players. Obviously, Nick Sirianni changed the entire philosophy of the offense and dedicated it toward the running game, which has been really, honestly, the catalyst for the entire thing. I personally, obviously, the question has always been, what was the true catalyst behind this entire turnaround for this team? And I gotta give credit to Nick Sirianni. I think it's been Nick Sirianni this entire time, to be completely honest with you. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that, but I think it's been Nick Sirianni this entire time. We know that Nick Sirianni has gotten on Jonathan Gannon about the play of his defense. We know that he's gotten on Jalen Hurts. We know that he's benched. We know that he benched Kenny Gainwell after he fumbled the ball. We know that he's pulled players after they've made mistakes. That those sorts of things. Obviously, he's put them back in the game, but he's put them on the bench to give them time to think about the mistakes that they were making in game. I think that this, so it's not something that we're actually highlighting right now, but I think that just the entire thing revolves around Nick Sirianni's ability to really keep this team focused, coach this team, and how he addresses his players, his relationship building with the players, none other than Jalen Hurts himself, who, by the way, we're also going to get into, because I said this 3 weeks ago, guys, is Jalen Hurts is going to need to do a lot for me in order to believe that he has that he should be given another shot next year. And he's done it. He's convinced me. I believe that Jalen Hurts deserves another shot next year as the starter. I do. I don't think you should go out and you should. King Miro says AJ went ghost operation. That's funny. I don't think you should go out and you should trade for one of these veteran quarterbacks. I just don't. I'm not. Even if it's Aaron Rodgers, even if it's Russell Wilson walking through the door, even if the Seahawks tell you that they want to trade you Russell Wilson, or I don't think you pull the trigger. I just don't. And you want to know why? I think I'm on that side of the fence, is because I believe in this team's ability to build. And that's why I'm on that side of the fence. Obviously, we just got into the playoffs with a first-year head coach, a first-year starting quarterback, and the future looks bright. The future looks very bright. And now you have 3 first-round draft picks. You can build. You can build around the team that you have now. You don't need to go out and mortgage your ability to build for one player, for a franchise quarterback. You just don't. Not one of those guys. But yeah, obviously it is Dallas week, so there's going to be tons to talk about this week. Dallas obviously just lost to the Arizona Cardinals, and I got to give the Arizona Cardinals credit, because I was definitely giving Kyler Murray a mouthful and an earful last week on the streams, and really came down hard on him. But that Cardinals team, they did pull through. They did win 25-22 over the Dallas Cowboys, and both are standing at 12-4. I believe it is. I believe it's 12-4 or 11-5. I think both are 11-5. If I'm not mistaken. But what a phenomenal job! What a phenomenal job by this Philadelphia Eagles team, guys. Really, honestly, to start off the season 2-5, and to really turn this entire thing around. Even look, I know that we love to hate on Jonathan Gannon, but and trust me. Oh my God, I was worried yesterday, because yesterday against the Washington football team, we were making Taylor Heineke look like Tom Brady for the whole first quarter of that game, pretty much the entire first half. But finally he adjusted. But I gotta say, this is I think that he has come a long way. He's come a long way since the first half of the season. I think part of the defensive turnaround obviously is putting 5 defensive linemen down. Obviously that's a formation that we're seeing a lot from this team. That's how they're able to get pressure. A lot of people are down on Josh Sweat, when I want to and kind of wrongfully say that Josh Sweat hasn't had quite the production that he should have. They paid this guy to get about 8 sacks per year. That's the contract that they gave him. And Josh Sweat, I believe now, after yesterday's game, has about 7.5 sacks. Maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. So Josh Sweat is having a decent season. So, but what I was just thinking? What I was just thinking earlier today is how great it would be if the Eagles had the ability to bring back Brandon Graham for this playoff run. That would be really cool if they could do that. That'd be really cool if they could do that. And speaking of players to bring back, is Brandon Brooks. Are they ever going to bring Brandon Brooks back this season? Is that ever going to happen? And if they can, should they? Is the question. King says, "Did you hear about our game getting pushed to Saturday?" I did. I saw that it was flexed to Saturday night. So it's going to be a prime time game. It's going to be aired by ESPN. Obviously both teams are in the playoffs. Obviously, Eagles, Cowboys, both teams in the playoffs. It's gonna be a big game. You know what I think, and I was thinking about this. Earlier also, is I think that the Eagles should rest their starters, and I think that the Eagles should rest their starters, because we've played 3 games in less than 21 days. We've played 3 games in less than 21 days, and I think it's even less than 15 days. So they deserve a rest. But you know what I was thinking about earlier was how much of a mind fuck it would be if the Eagles beat the Cowboys with their backups and Dak Prescott played, Ezekiel Elliott played, Michael Parsons played, Trayvon Diggs played, because all those guys are going to play. They're going to play their starters. But how big of a mindfuck would that be if we beat the Cowboys with our backups? Which isn't entirely out of question. We rotate some of our backups in on defense anyway. And Gardner Minshew, as we know, has been chomping at the bit to play. So, he won the game against the Jets for us. Doesn't matter who's in there at offensive line for us. So why not? But for me, I think that Dallas, they're such an inconsistent team that if something like that were to happen, I think it would really mess with their confidence. And that's what we're all about. That's what we're all about here, messing with the Dallas Cowboys' confidence. But most likely, here's the thing: most likely we probably won't play the Dallas Cowboys in the first week of the playoffs. It will probably be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It will probably be Brady. It'll probably be Brady and the Buccaneers. So that's obviously going to be a huge test that first week. But do I think we can pull it off? Sure, I think we can pull it off. I think anything can happen when you get to the playoffs. Anything and everything can happen when you get to the playoffs. So, guys, I think Nick Sirianni deserves heavy consideration for Coach of the Year. I mean, to get your team to this point where they start off 2-5, and then they clinch a playoff berth with 1 week left to go. I mean, what a phenomenal job! What a phenomenal job! And Jalen Hurts looked great yesterday. Jalen Hurts looked really great yesterday. One of the plays that kind of highlighted his performance for me yesterday was that in and out scramble of the dodging of the pocket, and led to, what was it, like a 17-yard completion to Greg Ward. He was directing traffic, telling guys to come back, telling guys to go. At first, he started off to the left. So at first he was looking to Devontae Smith, and then he was avoiding traffic in the pocket. And then he was telling whoever we had on the right side to come back in. Maybe it was Quez, whoever. But then he had Greg Ward come back in, and Greg Ward came back in and fired a dart to Greg Ward. I thought that play was absolutely phenomenal. So, guys, I last night I did a mock draft simulator, a way too early mock draft simulator, by the way, obviously. And I thought it was really cool because Jameson Williams, I think his name is Jameson. Yeah, Jameson Williams fell to us at 14. And so I picked up Alabama wide receiver Jameson Williams, and then got got Jordan Davis. Got defensive tackle Jordan Davis with the 19th pick. And then, or no, how did I do it? I think it was, Jameson Williams. Then I got Sauce Gardner with the 19th pick. And then somebody else in the first round. I don't remember. But King, how do you feel about our game getting pushed to Saturday, by the way? It's going to be it's going to be another day that we have to wait. And again, that's going to be 4 games that the Eagles have played in less than a month because of that fact. So it's already 3 games in less than 15 days. I think that they played the Washington football team on the 21st, if I'm not mistaken, for the first time. And then they played the Giants, and that was on Tuesday. And then they played the Giants 5 days later. And then yesterday was January 2nd. So it's 3 games in almost less than like 12 days. I think. I don't remember correctly. Let's count it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 17 days. It would be 4 games in 17 days that the Eagles have played. And everybody wants to bitch at them about coming out slow in the last 3 games. It's like, well, yeah, no shit. They're going to come out slow. Now, yesterday obviously was the big one because we needed it. And secondly, it was a nail biter all the way through. But yeah, I mean the resiliency of this team to come out and play that many games in that short amount of time, and now it's going to be 4 games in 17 days, is just insane. King says, I'm cool with the game being pushed to Saturday, but was it necessary though? No, I don't think it was necessary. That's the weird thing is usually when games are flexed, they're flexed to that night on the same day. So I'm not sure what the day before thing was. I'm not sure why they did it that way, but it's certainly odd. It's certainly odd. And who knows why? You know what I mean? I certainly don't. It's funny. Speaking of weird conspiracy theories, is everybody wants to freak out about. There are some people that are thinking that the Eagles are putting themselves on the COVID list because it's another way to rest your starters. It's like no, that's not why they're doing that. They can't fake tests. That's my answer to that is there are some people on the board saying, oh yeah, it's another way to rest their start. No, if the Eagles wanted to rest their starters, they would come out and rest their starters. They wouldn't lie to the league. That would get them in trouble. So but hey, if you're a conspiracy theorist and you want to go that route, go that route. But there's no reason for the Eagles to lie to the league and to say anything other than rest. That would then we want to rest our starters, I think and for anybody who's worried about this Eagles team getting rested against Dallas and not being sharp the following week, I think that there's a possibility that could happen. But you just have to remember how sharp Jalen Hurts looked when he came back out of the bye week against the Washington football team the first time. He had been out for about 15 days, and he looked really sharp against the Washington football team the first time. Over the last 3 games, really, honestly, Jalen Hurts has looked really good. He's only had 1 interception, and obviously the interception that we're talking about was not his fault. Bounced off the heel of Dallas Goedert. So, King, do you believe that Jalen Hurts deserves to start next year, and do you believe that he passed his audition? That's something that we can get at. And just another thing on Jalen Hurts too is after the game, I did notice that all of the fans were trying to get pictures with him, and the railing at the Washington football team stadium completely fell, and they found Jalen helped him up, and what a cool thing, man! Like Jalen's just a cool dude. You know what I mean? He's really embraced the personality of the city and has done a phenomenal job at just making earning his spot, making his place, making his presence felt. But let's go ahead and check in on this game. Steelers versus the Browns, I believe. Pittsburgh versus Cleveland, which could be Big Ben's final game in Pittsburgh. Or it could be his last home game. They are obviously up right now. They are up 10-0. Second quarter is coming to a close. King says, like I told you, if we go 10-7, Jalen Hurts is my franchise quarterback. I feel it. You think we're going to beat the Cowboys this week? You think we're going to beat the Cowboys this week? Question mark. I actually feel really good about this game. Here's the thing. I'm not scared of the Cowboys. We just saw the Arizona Cardinals shut down Ezekiel Elliott. And that's the thing though. I mean, they want to keep feeding that guy the ball, and it almost seems like they just keep trying to feed him because they gave him all that money and they got to find reason for it. And they shut him down. And the Eagles have been one of the better run defense teams over the last 8 weeks. So I mean, I don't see us not being able to do the same thing when it comes to Zeke. Question is, can we throw Dak Prescott off? And I think we can. This is a completely different team than the one that the Dallas Cowboys played earlier in the season again in week 3. So I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this game, regardless of whether the starters go or not. I will be excited for this Dallas Cowboys game. I don't care what happens. But I think it's definitely something, and we know that there are reports that came out today that the Eagles are mulling over the idea of resting their starters in this game. I think it's definitely something that they should think about, because you obviously don't want guys, you don't want starters going out and getting injured. Plain and simple. Especially Jalen Hurts or Devontae Smith or Jordan Howard. Like, you don't want him getting any more injured than he already is. You want him back and healthy, and you're hoping that Miles Sanders comes back and healthy and ready for the playoffs. King says, I think Dallas will play their starters just like us. Yeah, I have a feeling. Here's the thing. I have a feeling that Dallas will definitely play their starters. It just depends on what we do. I'm not sure what we'll do, because you gotta take into account that the one thing that this team has been really good at, pretty much most of the time, they've been compared to recent years, is they've done a good job this season at avoiding significant injuries. That is the one thing that they've done better this year. So I will say that for sure. Yes, it was a loss. It was a loss at the time when we lost Brandon Brooks. It was a loss at the time when we lost Jack Driscoll. But I mean, Nate Herbig and Sua Opeta came in, played well, played decent enough. So, and then again, I think Lane Johnson wasn't playing in the game against Dallas in week 3. I don't think he was in that game. I think he played against the 49ers, but I don't think he played against Dallas. Don't think he played against Dallas. So, and Landon Dickerson wasn't playing as well back then. This is a different beast. This is a different Eagles team that we got here. So, I think Dallas is in for a shocker. Dallas is in for a big shock. They think they're going to come in here and roll over us, and it's going to be at Lincoln Financial Field. It's going to be a home game for the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's another huge advantage for us. It's another huge advantage for us. So, but we'll see. We'll see. At the end of the day, we will definitely see. A couple other things that I just want to get into, obviously, that I want to touch on real quick. I'm going to have kind of a short stream tonight, but hopefully get into a bigger one tomorrow. Obviously, Antonio Brown, got to touch on that. Taking his jersey off and his pad and his shoulder pads off and throwing him into the stands and walking off the field and kind of quitting on the team. Obviously, there's a lot of things out there being said about it that kind of contradict each other. But yeah, no, it seems like Antonio Brown quit on the team. I kind of don't want to comment, kind of don't want to say too much on the matter, other than I will say this: it does seem like there is much more going on with Antonio Brown, and it does seem like there has been for over the last few years, than just a player who is arrogant or something along those lines. I think there's something bigger going on, and he definitely needs to seek out help. But it's a shame, it's a shame that that happened, and obviously he is no longer a Buccaneer. So I thought it was, and I thought that was pretty much everything that Brady said about Antonio Brown after the fact is he pretty much was saying the dude needs help, and we should all show a little bit more compassion and things like that toward the dude, because he's clearly going through some stuff. But again, like I think it is something much bigger than just being an asshole. So, what are your guys' thoughts on that? What are your guys' thoughts on that? And what are some early prospects that you might want, King, in this draft? I know we're months out. We just made the playoffs, so we probably shouldn't be talking about it, but I'm always willing to talk about that stuff. King says it's going to be a good last game, but let the Cowboys say what they're going to do to us. Yeah, they can talk shit all they want. I don't care. I don't. They can talk shit. They can talk shit about us all they want. When it comes down to game day, exactly. I just want us to be ready, and I want us to win this game. Like I said, I want us to win this game whether the starters are in or not. I want us to win this game. No hands barred. It's Dallas week. So we got to come out and win. And I think it would be the perfect. I think it would be the perfect cherry on top of a season, a first season for head coach Nick Sirianni to split with the Cowboys, where the Cowboys went 12-4 or 12-5 or whatever. And we just barely slipped into and we turned the entire season around to make the playoffs. It would be a perfect cherry on top. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think Nick Sirianni is going to approach the week like that, regardless of whether or not the starters go or not, whether or not they rest the starters. I think he's gonna say, I gotta continue to make my name here in Philadelphia, and we're gonna go out and fucking beat the Dallas Cowboys, baby. But King, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. And we will definitely continue this conversation over the week. We will definitely talk about matchups over the week, and we'll continue to talk about playoff football for the Philadelphia Eagles, baby, because they're going to the playoffs, my friend. All right, this is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles, the DB Talking Now podcast. Stay safe, stay healthy, one love, happy Monday, and go Birds, baby.